Well, hello gang, this is Jim, KC9VKV. Well, as some of you may or may not know, there was unfortunately some trouble with the 1524 Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog air check recording. So in lieu of that, it gives me a chance to review some cuts from my KC9VKV highlights department. So for now, enjoy and wish us better luck next Friday. Well, we continue our journey through time and space during our KC9VKV Highlights review. It's December 8th, 2016, early evening. The 146-850 Southern Indiana repeater. Meet JR, W3JRB, who is now an SK. But then it was the Adventures in Radioland and the Rum Swizzle Spying. This is yet another thrilling story from the JR Handbook of World Adventures. This one involves his top-secret military service tour on the beaches down in southern Bermuda for 2 years. It was a tough job, but somebody had to do it. As a deep cover, he was part of our Marine Shore Patrol, better known as the MPs, but his real task was to protect America from foreign and domestic spies. Join him now as he tightens the net around a group of highly suspected spies, girls. As a decoy truth serum, he used large amounts of Bermuda rum swizzle. Other spy catchers may have used sodium pentothal, but JR proved Bermuda rum swizzle to be most effective in getting down to the top secrets these girls held. One of his famous spy ring catcher sayings was, and is still now, down in Bermuda, wet t-shirts, yes, waterboarding, no. More later, but now, the rum swizzle spy ring. All right, JR, start it.
No, you started.
No, you start. Well, we could always start it with your career down in the Bahamas, keeping us safe from all of the spies and military adversaries that you had to protect the country with down there.
They're all top secret stories. I can't. If I was to tell you, then I have to kill you.
Yeah, Roger. I understand that. I'm prepared to sacrifice, though. I would sacrifice myself for the sake of continuity. How many years did you serve our country down there?
What country down there? I keyed on you.
I said, how many years did you serve our country down there, keeping us safe?
24 months. I did most of the saving the country in yellow swimming trunks with a big jar of what they call rum swizzle.
Would you say what that was again? What was that item you had?
I used to drink a drink down there called rum swizzle. Rum swizzle. And I'll tell you what, it didn't take much of that to make you really brave.
Roger, I just couldn't catch the rum part. I got the swizzle, and I was thinking, I won't say what I thought it was, but now I'm a big rum fan, but I never swizzled with it. How does that work?
Hey, Kevin, did you say something? Did not. I don't know what was in it. There was rum, and they had a stick that they went and got from a certain tree, and I used to remember the name of that tree, but I don't remember it anymore. But anyway, it had to get from the joint of one of the limbs, where it had 3 little sprigs on the bottom of it. They'd cut that off, let it dry. God knows, I hope they washed it. And then they put that in there and run it back and forth in that jar of junk, rum, and I can't remember everything that was in it. But it was real tasty. And about 3 of them, if you drank 3 of them, say after dinner, say you're on the beach with a bunch, looking for spies trying to snorkel up on the shore. If you drank about 3 of them after 6 o'clock, usually not because you wanted to, but you ended up spending the night on the beach.
You were beached on the beach in protection of the country, looking for spies snorkeling up. They would be counter spy. No, they'd be just spies. You'd be the counter spy, I guess. And did your rum swizzle? Did it have an actual swizzle stick in it, or what?
Now the sticks are what they stirred it with. You couldn't shake it, stir it. Anything like that. You had to, in order for it to be an official rum swizzle, the bartender had to have one of them sticks, and he just run it back and forth in his hand, and that's how he mixed it.
Oh, Roger. Now obviously, you would have to get your rum swizzle to go. Is that right?
No, fortunately, there was a bar right on the beach. And he'd flash his lights to let you know he's getting ready to close for the evening, and you'd run up there and buy a pitcher of that stuff.
But you'd have to bring your own container and swizzle sticks?
Well, you didn't bring your own swizzle stick, because once you stirred it, that was it. Yeah, you had to bring your own container. And, as a side note, you do not want to put rum swizzle in anything that's plastic.
Roger, it would just eat a hole right through it.
Yeah, but it was okay for you to drink it and put it in your gut. But no, that's right. It would deform. Before you drank it all, it'd deform that plastic container. So you had to have glass, or we never tried metal, like a bucket or something. We always brought, big glass thing.
This potion was somewhat akin to a sulfuric acid solution. Well, I know that you served your country diligently. Did you ever have any time to enjoy things down there?
Whiskey bottles around, so if you didn't have a glass container, he'd transfer it over to that whiskey bottle for you. But I'll tell you what, it put all your sails in the wind when you drank it. Three of them. Of course, we're talking pitchers, so I guess I never thought of that before, but 3. You bought the stuff by the pitcher. You never did buy it by the glass. So I guess 3 pitchers of that stuff kind of explained why you spent the night on the beach.
Roger, and I know you spent a lot of time in service to your country down on the beach, protecting us from the would-be spy snorkelers, as it were. But did you ever have a chance to have any fun down there?
Not really. I was constantly on duty. I was very dedicated to protecting the country and everything, which sometimes got in the way because in the summertime you had over 60,000 tourists, most of them women. It was a big summer place for college girls and office girls that weren't married and stuff, and sometimes they got in your way of doing that.
Right. Well, I can see where you would have to have, constant investigations as to what these ladies were about, and if there were any spies amongst them.
Oh yeah, even had to body search a few of them, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah, that's, well, at least you didn't waterboard any of them, did you?
They have waterboards back in. Nobody surfed or anything. There were no waves around Bermuda that were tall enough to surf. And bodyboards, boogie boards, and stuff like that weren't around.
Roger, probably the closest you came to waterboarding was wet T-shirts.
I have to tell you the truth, I don't even remember that. I don't remember them doing that down there. Sometimes they just lose their top. Had a lot of that. Had a lot of sunbathing, losing their top. But I don't remember wet T-shirts.
Yeah, Roger. And that probably was not one of the highlights down there. I mean, there's much more interesting situations, I guess. And did you ever catch any spies down there, JR?
No, I did such a good job. I guess they stayed away. I interviewed a bunch of would-be female spies, but come find out they were just a college student or something. But no, I don't really remember ever catching one. I did catch something down there, but it wasn't a spy.
I wasn't going to mention that, but, well, maybe we shouldn't anyway. But how long did you train to actually be a spy catcher?
Oh, I was pretty much, I no sooner got to Bermuda and took me about a day at the beach, and all of a sudden I was certified.
You had all the qualifications just in a cram course there about how to detect foreign spies. And well, again, JR, I want to compliment you on your fine service to the country. And you spent, as you said, 2 years down there diligently chasing those spies, would-be spies, alleged spies, as we want to keep this thing in a proper terminology. And again, thank you, JR, for your splendid service.
I even tried to volunteer to stay another 2 years. But I only had about 6 months left to do. My contract was up, but I told them if they'd leave me there for 2 more years, I'd extend for a year and a half. But the commanding officer told me, he said, no, he said, we've had about all of your expertise we need. So I guess I did a really good job. I must have done 4 years worth of work in 2 years.
Yeah, I can see you're definitely double timing it down there. You might want to come up on mic just a little bit, JR. You were kind of low level there, but anyway. So you spent the 2 years down there, and then you returned. How did you just leave there, or how did you? Where did your career take you after Bermuda?
That's the odd part. They were trying to send me to California. And I went to the commanding officer and with my new orders for California. And I said to him, I said, Major, they're trying to send me to California. He said, well, what's wrong with that? And I said, well, I'm getting out in 6 months. I live in, I'm from Kentucky. I don't need to go to California. And I don't know how he done it, but anyway, he got my orders changed, and they sent me right back to Parris Island, South Carolina. And I thought, which is Marine Corps boot camp. And I got those orders. I I went back down to him and I said, Parris Island, South Carolina? And he said, you gonna complain about that? Well, I was stupid. And I said, oh, no, I'm grateful. I just wanted to thank you for doing that. I said, that's a lot closer to Louisville than California. And I thought, shut up, get out of his office before you get in trouble and you're going back to California. So I went back to Marine Recruit Boot Camp, Parris Island, South Carolina, and they made an MP out of me there. And I spent 6 months and got out.
Well, now, I thought you were an MP down in the Bahamas, down in Bermuda.
I was. And when I got to Parris Island, they put me in the MP battalion, and which was kind of common. You know, it's where all my experiences were. I don't think I was as dedicated at Parris Island. You know, when you only got 6 months to do, I lost a lot of my dedication. And the platoon I was in, the platoon sergeant said to me, you know, if you wasn't getting out of the service here in a few months, I would probably bring you up on charges. And I looked at him and I said, well, what kind of charges would you bring me up on? I said, I don't do anything wrong. He said, that's the problem. You don't do anything. And I thought, well, how many Viet Cong have you had to kill here? You know, I must be doing something right. The communists ain't invading Parris Island, South Carolina either, but no sense in starting that argument.
Roger, J.R. Keeping us all safe. That's the name of the game. And since you were short timing when you were in South Carolina, they let you slide there and didn't give you a hard time. But I want to thank you, J.R., for this dissertation on your military career and service to our country. Roger.
Oh, it was my pleasure. You know, it was my pleasure. I was just really glad to do it. And you don't have to thank me. I was glad to do it.
Roger, Roger. I want to see if I can conjure up a few rum swizzles in payment for you there, sir.
Oh, I don't do that no more. That was one great thing about Parris Island, South Carolina, as my final duty station. I always thought that was kind of unique. I started and ended in the same place. But I sobered up while I was at Parris Island. I did kind of like that.
I'm speechless on that one, man. I'm glad that you saw the light of day there, sir, and mended your ways and became a dedicated amateur radio operator. After that, went on to serve the country in radio communications.
Well, and I enjoy my ham radio time. It is quite enjoyable, and I don't have to get up and walk around. Got everything I need right here. So this is not bad. This is not bad at all.
Catch you later, JR3s. KC9VKV, be clear.